Yo, what up, Wolfpack? This the Blind Wolf, and we back at it again. I like to thank everybody that subscribe, like, share, comment on these videos. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All right, come on, Wolfpack, let's go on this journey. Y'all know I lost my eyesight July 7, 2007 while I was in prison. Man, I went through some crazy situations while I was in there. All right, it was this one time I went on a medical transfer going from Hagerstown in town over to University of Maryland Hospital because I was going to University Eye Associates at the time, and they had us at like a transfer spot in Jessup. But at this transfer spot, we had to spend the night and stay overnight. So when we first got there, they get us all at the bus. They get us all up in into these bullpens, these big bullpens, and it was quite a few of us that they had kind of like jam packed up in there, and it was tight. It was hot. I'm talking about it was hot. But everybody in there kind of like just being straight up 100 with it was all black, all African American, except for one white boy, little skinny dude. You can kind of like tell that he was timid, nervous, whatever. And I could still see a little bit out of my right and my left eye at the time. But at this particular time, I had a patch over my eye because I had just got done having a procedure done. And like I said, we had a transfer spot on my way back out to Hagerstown. So me and one of my Muslim brothers, we kind of like we standing in the corner and we chilling for real. So they come around with these bag lunches, and the working men they just come around with this great big plastic bag filled up with a bunch of bag lunches, and they passing one bag out to everybody that's in there. So everybody getting one bag. All right, boom. So when the white boy get his bag, they kind of like some dudes kind of like pushed him over into the corner, kind of in the blind spot. So if it was a CO that was anywhere nearby to be able to see what was going on, they wouldn't be able to see what was going on because this was kind of like in the back, away from everybody. And then, like I said, it was about 20 of us up in there, so we was deep into this little bullpen. So it wasn't nothing to hide, something like that. So make a long story short, a few dudes, man, and mind you, we still in shackles. They and handcuffs. They banked this little white boy, and banking is jumping somebody. So basically they jumped this white boy and all for his bag lunch. Shorty ain't do nothing to nobody. Shorty wasn't arguing with nobody. They just saying that he had a bag lunch. He was by himself. He really wasn't talking to nobody like that. And about 4 or 5 dudes. And I don't know how you want to split this bag lunch because these bag lunches that they give you in prison, man, I'm talking about this is terrible. We call the lunch meat that they put on there sweaty because when you get these bag lunches, for the most part, the meat got sweat on it. And then they got the nerve to have this little piece of cheese and some saran wrap sitting right there with it. But when you look at the meat got actual liquid coming up out of it looking like it's sweating. And man, I never ate that stuff. That stuff always looked crazy. I used to just eat the bread, put a little bit of mustard or something up on there and carry it like that. Might eat the chips, and depending on whether or not you got cookies, juice, you know what I mean? I'm eating that type of stuff, but most of the time I ain't even really rock with the little vegetables and stuff that be in them bags because I don't know what dudes is doing with their hands touching this stuff. So I'm kind of like particular on this stuff, but make a long story short, yeah, they beat this little white boy up over a bag lunch, and this is what your life is like in prison. Now, mind you, check this out. I got advanced glaucoma and a severe case of cataract, but they got me in a bullpen with like 20 people, and I just had a surgery done on my eyes. Now, mind you, what if they'd have tried to attack me? I'm in there, and I got this patch over my eye, but fortunately, I'm thankful to God that nothing did happen to me, but I'm just thinking to myself, like, y'all put me in a situation where y'all know I just got done having a medical procedure done, and I'm around a bunch of dudes that's on some goon stuff. Y'all actually put me in a cell and walk off like everything just okay. But this is what your life It's like when you go inside them prison walls, they don't care. Don't nobody care. You got to care. So check this out. They beat the white boy up. They took his stuff. And nobody came to do nothing to help him. All the howling and screaming Shorty did, nobody came to that bullpen. Keep it in your mind that your life don't mean nothing to them people when you go up inside them prison walls. They don't care whether or not you got a medical procedure. They gonna put you around everybody else if they don't be on their stuff, which most of the time they not. Because guess what? They don't care. They just trying to make their job easy. So they put you with everybody else so they ain't got to worry about doing all this paperwork, whatever. Put your life in danger. No problem to them, but all the problem is yours. So we got to do this one big thing. Them 5 P's, proper planning prevents poor performance. We got to stay from out of those prison walls. Let's properly plan for our lives so that we stay from out of them prison walls and we ain't got to deal with this type of crazy foolishness getting jumped for a bag lunch, a brown paper bag, cheap lunch at that, with sweaty meat on it. Dudes will beat your head in for that type of stuff when you in prison just because it's a frustrating situation for them and they want to get their frustrations out as best as possible. And if you look like food, trust me, they gonna eat and they gonna take your plate. So keep yourself from up out of them prison walls. Stay away from the foolishness. And remember what my man Marcus Aurelius said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So have some happy thoughts, make some big moves for yourself and stay from up out of them prison walls. And this big love coming from the Wolf 410, we in the building. Yo!